friends, how are you doing today? I am doing okay. And I'm glad to see you back here on my channel and watching me show you what I picked up this week, within the last couple of days. Yeah. Okay. So, as always, I am going to go through these movies, and you are going to tell me in the comments below whether or not my picks were good or not good, or something that you saw, so like, hey, that was a good buy. I love that movie. I love the interaction, and I try to answer every single comment as fast as I possibly can. Wonder why? Because I have a major OCD problem, and ADHD and all those other letters and stuff. And when I see something pop up on my feed that says the little red circle, it eats at me. I mean, you know, I don't know if this is a thing. I don't know if there's something that maybe I should go see like a psychiatrist or something, but tell me if this is a problem that you have, okay? When something pops up with a little red circle, whether it be on my Facebook or Instagram or whatever it might be, even a phone, the phone thing will pop up, and it might be somebody that I do not want to talk to. I don't want to interact with this person. I don't want to read the message on this person, but that little circle shows up. And I even know who it's from, and I can even see the first two lines of the sentence of what they are trying to say to me, and I just don't want to read it. But my guts hurt. You know what I mean? That's my guts hurt. I literally go out of my mind. Seeing that little red circle, it doesn't even blink. In my head, this is what I see. Like, I see a blinking red circle. Open me, open me, open me. So to make that circle disappear, I cannot deal with the circle.
I am slowly going crazy.
Okay, the circle drives me mad. Okay, I don't even know how to express. I need to go see somebody. I need to go see a shrink. I need to go see a counselor. I need to go see somebody, because this social media red circle needs to stop. Okay, we got to find the inventor of the circle. We need to stop it. We need to go to Skynet and get the Terminator and the rest of the people on board and everything. Grab a couple other people, and we need to get there. We need to get rid of this red circle, because it's messing up people's lives. It is, without a doubt. It's messing up my life. I can, if I go a couple of days without checking my social and I see these red, oh. I can't even explain to you the turmoil my life is if that red circle is there. I have to look at it. I have to make that circle go away. And there's no way to make it go away without reading it. There's no way to make it go away without opening it. It drives me nuts. Okay? All right. With that said, what the heck? What was that? Okay, anyway. With that said, I got some pickups. I got some stories behind them, and I'm gonna grab them randomly, and I'm gonna tell you where I got them. I'll tell you how I got them, and we're gonna go on with that. What the heck? What? And we're gonna go on with that. My voice is cracked. I'm like Peter Brady. What the? Sha-na-na-na-na-na. Sha-na-na-na-na. What? Jesus. I should have had a drink before I started this video. A little parched. Okay, first pickup is, as you all know, my love, the Criterion collection. Yes, found at your local Barnes & Noble. Nowhere else. Except online. And that's where I got this. All right, it's a movie called The Rose, starring Bette Midler. Don't know much about this movie. I am taking it as a, what's that movie that just came out that everybody seemed to love, with Lady Gaga and that other guy from The Hangover, and I can't remember the name of it, and that's really, really bad. You know that song? It's got the song in it there. Singing, songwriting. Oh, man. You know the song, okay? It was overplayed like a billion times. Everybody loves it. I'm back here looking for my Lady Gaga movies there, trying to figure out what's going on here. Lady Gaga. Wow. Star is Born? A Star is Born, yes. I looked at this and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like one of those alcoholic, drug, I'm a rock star going through the turmoils of being a rock star type movies starring Bette Midler from, does it say the year here? Say the year. Of course it doesn't. Why doesn't it say the year? It should say the year. Oh, yeah. 1979. Criterion. 1979. Whew. Okay. Reason why I bought this, that's the reason. Okay, I thought it was one of them, drugged out alcohol, going through troubles, men problems, all kind of problems with the band, and falling off the stage type movie there, and I'm assuming that's what it is. And it's a Criterion, so you get a pile of Criterion extra stuff, a paragraph's worth. And if you open up, you get, of course, this one is a stretchy, like a book, but it's an unfolding type book type thing here, and it just keeps on going. All right, yeah, so I've never seen this movie. I remember it back in the day. I remember people talking about it. I remember it being a thing. You know what I mean? At the rental store, people were renting it. I remember it, but I've never seen it. But I do like Bette Midler, and it's a Criterion thing. And I've been eyeballing it for a while. I've been looking at it online for a while, but once again, Criterions, if you buy them at Barnes & Noble, you're going to pay 40, 30, crazy amounts of money for a Criterion. But this one was on eBay, and here's the story behind this. This was, I thought, was kind of cool and honest, and I had to go with it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. They listed it as The Rose, the Criterion collection, comes from Smoke-Filled House. So I'm like, that caught my eye. I'm like, comes from smoke. Usually they say from a smoke-free house. They really want to push the fact that there's no smoke in this house whatsoever. You're not going to get that cigarette smoke anywhere on your item at all. But this one said comes from a smoke-filled house. So I was like, wow, that's a great write-up. What honesty. And they were selling it dirt cheap. I'm talking $12 for this. I'm like, and this is normally if you go on eBay right now and check, this is $30, $40 on eBay. But because it was from this smoke-filled house, 12 bucks, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, okay. So I read the description, and it says, has a terrible cigarette smoke odor, cannot get it off the movie. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take your challenge. I'll take your $12 challenge on The Rose with cigarette smoke, because last time I checked, my Blu-ray player doesn't care whether or not the disc smells like cigarettes. You know what I mean? And personally, I'm pretty sure that you can make the cigarette smell go away. This was my theory. This is what I thought. And I'm like, for 12 bucks, I'm saving myself a ton of money, get to see a movie I want to see. And this person seems to be very honest. I want to buy from them because they're honest people. They're telling me that they're obviously. It's funny thing. I'm picturing when they said smoke-filled house. I'm picturing these and please forgive me for the judgment. This like house full of just heavy people with like just chain smoking, chain smoking and watching like Lifetime movies. You know what I mean? They're watching like The Biggest Loser or something like that. One of these things, and they're just they're blowing on their Blu-rays. Hey, Marge, you think we should get up today and go for a walk? No, we'll watch some Blu-rays and smoke and blow them all over the Blu-rays, and then we'll sell them. That's what I don't know. To me, that's what I picture. It's just like this, and there's a bunch of people just sitting on a couch. Couches are like, they're all like, the ceilings are yellow from all the smoke, and the house is full of smoke. And they got a dog. There's always a dog that looks like it's half dead because it's inhaling smoke for so long. And I don't know. That's what I'm picturing. And they have a table in the middle of their living room, because every smoke-filled house has to have those tables in the middle of the living room. So you can put your ashtray. You got to put the ashtray on the little table in the middle of the living room. This is a process, my friends. When I make a purchase and somebody puts something like that on there, my mind is not normal. It does not function the way normal people's minds function. I get a whole vision of things when people say things and do things, and when I watch a movie, I'm living the movie, man. When I watch this movie, I ain't going to be a drug-filled, alcohol-filled, falling off the stage, Janis Joplin type character when I'm watching this movie from beginning to end. I'm going to be tired when I'm done with it. And I hope that I get out of rehab and I make it to the big time. That's what I feel when I watch it. But anyway, I got the movie in, and I opened, and right away I opened the package. Now with COVID going around, it's probably not a good idea. Probably wasn't a good idea on my part, but it was like almost like I was like, ooh, it's The Rose, okay? What I gotta do? I gotta see if I can smell that smoke, because I'm happy if it doesn't smell like smoke, but I really don't want these people to lie to me, because I felt like they were very honest. So I'm like, so I open up the package. I'm like, hey, invite other people over. I'm like, I tell the wife, like, come over here and smell my Blu-ray. She's like, what you smell my Blu-ray? I'm like, you try to tell my kids, come over here and sniff my Blu-ray. You know what I mean? And they're like, they're grabbing on my hand, like, I'm like, smell anything? And like two out of three of them, like, no, I don't smell anything. And then like the third one's like, I smell some smoke. And I tell my wife, I'm like, do you smell smoke? And she's like, let me give that another smell. And I'm like, so now all over this smelling the Blu-ray, and she's like, there's a little smell of smoke. It wasn't that bad, my friends. I'll tell you right now, I got this. It did smell a little bit like smoke, so it did not lie to me. Maybe it took a little while to get here, so maybe during transit, the smoke smell disappeared. I don't know. It was concealed in that package, so maybe, I don't know how it would, but it wasn't that bad. So what I did, I got it, I opened it up, and I let it sit on my desk, like open like this, like that, for like 3 or 4 days, and I smell no smoke. It smells like nothing right now. It smells like nothing. Okay. So The Rose, yes. If you've seen The Rose, tell me if it's a good movie. I like Bette Midler movies. I don't think I went wrong with that one, especially since it's a Criterion, especially since it's an out-of-print Criterion, especially since it's a expensive Criterion that I ended up getting dirt cheap. Now, next one is a Arrow Films release, and here's another one that I have not seen in literally years. This movie was one of those that, if I remember correctly, my uncle rented this movie, and I'm not gonna say forced me to watch it, but for some reason I ended up getting it in my grasp. I don't know if I ended up watching it with them. It's a little foggy, okay? But I remember the premise of the movie, and I remember it being a little odd at the time, but now that I'm older, I'm gonna revisit it, and hopefully I understand it a little bit more. But it's a movie called Cruisin, starring Al Pacino, and this is an Arrow Video, so of course Arrow Video also, like the Criterions, gives you a paragraph full of awesome special features. And this is an earlier Al Pacino film, and if I remember correctly, it's about a detective that, I guess is a guy at gay clubs killing people, okay? So he goes undercover as a gay man and tries to be love, be friend, be a lot of things to these people so he can try to find the killer. That's about what I remember about it. I remember it being because I was younger and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I was a lot younger, and I didn't know what was going on. And I remember being like, I didn't really understand it. So I'm like, I got to go back and check it out. Arrow Video just released it not too long ago, and I was like, I got to check it out. I never owned it before on DVD. This is not an upgrade. This is a addition to my collection, and I figured it was going to be halfway decent because it is an Arrow Video, and they do give you a bunch of stuff. Of course, Arrow Video, like the Criterions, they give you a book, and they give you a little thing that shows you what other things that are coming out. This Exploding Explorer, White Fire. I don't know what that is. But, and I believe you get the alternate. Do you get the alternate cover in here? Let me see. Yeah, you get an alternate cover inside, and you get the regular cover. Yeah, it's just one of these that I remember it in my head as something that I saw, but not really understood. And I feel like I needed to go back and watch it. Maybe I can get a better understanding for it. And I like Al Pacino, so, and I like detective movies. So, we'll see. A lot of special features. It's got a 4K scan on this I was going to say, this bugger. High definition Blu-ray, 1080p. We got a bunch of makings. We got a history of cruising. It's got a history. Exercising, cruising, archive featurettes. I mean, you got a ton of stuff on here, and I couldn't pass it up. I couldn't. And like I said, I remember watching it back in the day, but it's very foggy, very, very foggy. This one I was kind of excited about. I picked up at Big Lots, yes. And this is a upgrade from the DVD, and the other one's a movie I did not own, so I thought it was kind of cool. It's a double feature. It was $3. A double feature at Big Lots of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and No Strings Attached. Now, No Strings Attached, I have no idea what it is. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is like me and my wife's go-to chick flick movie, okay? We enjoy watching this movie for some reason together. It's one of those, there's another movie called Love Stinks, I think it is, and that's another that we kind of go, it's Love, I think Love Stinks. It's another one that we go to if we want to watch a romantic night out TV movie type thing, you know, and we want to just sit down in front of the TV and watch a movie together. And How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days for some reason has become one of those movies that we watch. And if you remember it, if you don't remember it, I'm going to sum it up really quickly for you. It's about this guy that gets involved in a bet, girl that gets involved in a similar kind of bet, and they're trying to get each other to fall in love with each other and then lose each other. But then in the midst of the whole thing, they fall in love with each other and they don't want to really lose each other. You know what I mean? It's a good movie. And for $3, I mean, 2 movies, 3. I was walking by and I'm like, I don't see nothing. I didn't find nothing at Big Lots. I'm like, there's nothing here today. I mean, I got all this stuff, there's nothing here. And then this thing popped out and I was like, whew, I got to grab it because it's one of our favorites. And why not the upgrade? Why not? I mean, for $3, why not the upgrade? I mean, a lot of people say, you know, DVD's good enough. It's good enough. You got the DVD. It's good enough. And granted, probably, more than likely, the DVD was good enough as far as How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But I got no strings attached for free. So think about that. $3 for 2 movies. That was probably worth the upgrade. I'm thinking that was a good buy. You know, and it's a double feature. And it's a double feature on 2 discs. I did open it up, but I don't remember. No, good. It's a double feature, but it's on 2 separate discs. It's not like they tried to cram all the content into one disc and then the picture quality is probably worse than the DVD, which I hate when they do that. No, you get both movies on 2 separate discs, so that was definitely, now I don't even have to confirm with you guys, that was worth $3. Definitely worth $3. All right, next thing I got in the mail. Okay, so I've been lately watching on YouTube old Johnny Carson episodes and old Johnny Carson skits. So as I'm watching these old Johnny Carson episodes and old Johnny Carson skits, this led me to this other thing. And I'm like, how do I get my hands on a physical media copy of these things? And the things I'm talking about are these. They came in the mail and they were a little hard to get. They are definitely out of print, hard to get items, okay? And this is the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast Collection. This is every Dean Martin Celebrity Roast on DVD. I know it's like an 8 DVD set, 3 DVD set, a 6 DVD set. Every episode. If you don't know what a Dean Martin Celebrity Roast, what it is a, back in the day, if you watch the new roasts on Comedy Central, Dean Martin headed this thing, which was cool because Dean Martin in these roasts most of the time was drunk. He was like totally drunk. I mean, I watched 2 or 3 of these things, and he could barely speak.
Pardon? How are you? I'm almost through. Good to see you. How'd all these people get in your room?
It's funny just to watch him. But then you got these other comedians and they're roasting, they're making fun of each other. So they go up there and they have like he's the roast master, Dean Martin, and they got the actors or whatever that, for instance, let me do it for instance here. Okay, we have Betty Davis, Muhammad Ali, Betty White, Mr. T. I'm just trying to give you the ones that I know you'll probably know, because I'll say some other ones. You're like, I don't know who that is. I don't even know why you bought this thing. All right, let me see. Valerie Harper. I'll probably go. Lucille Ball. Okay. Harvey Keitel. Harvey Korman. Harvey Keitel. Why would Harvey Keitel be there? Rich Little. Bob Newhart. Florence Henderson, the mom from the Brady Bunch. Don Rickles, Jonathan Winters. Anyway, you get a ton of roasts. So what they do is they just go up there and they tear into each other. For about an hour, they go in, and these paid comedians go up there and they tear into the person that they're roasting. And they are just fun things. You know, what I think is cool about this is it's like a time capsule. You know, movies are memories, and watching this stuff, it's like, you know, this is like 70s, 80s type going on here. And it kind of just brings you, like the clothes they wear and the way that they talk. And everybody smokes. Everybody back in I guess, the late 70s, early 80s had to have a cigarette. Everybody. And while they're talking, they get the cigarette. And back it just reminds you so much of how things have changed nowadays. Now you can't smoke indoor. I mean, I don't smoke any, but I mean, it's like, now you can't smoke in. I don't hardly ever see people smoking that much anymore. I mean, maybe that's not even a thing anymore. Maybe the smoking has gone away or close to going away, which is probably a good thing for everybody that smokes. But you know, people dying and everything. But back in like when this time was, does it say the year? Am I gonna get the year on this thing? Probably absolutely not, because this is the way. But the roasts were from back in the day. I want to say they give me a feel of a late 70s, early 80s, and it's just, you see the comedy greats in these movies, in these episodes and everything, and it's just fun. And I like I said, I've been addicted lately to Johnny Carson and Dean Martin's celebrity roasts at 2:00 in the morning. I find myself, there was a Richard Pryor celebrity roast that he actually, I think it was the roast of Richard Pryor.
Move to next lady. You may not can see her, but she's there. She's skinny.
And I started laughing. I'm like, and I'll tell you right now, I don't know if because of my age and the years going by and everything like that, it takes a little bit more to get me to laugh, you know. But if it's 2:00 in the morning and I am laughing by myself hysterically, then I gotta find the physical media copy of whatever that is, because it did something to me, and I want to keep that, you know. All right, 2 more left. Next one I picked up is it's another Criterion collection. It's a Criterion collection of the movie Repo Man. Repo Man. Yes, I bought this because it stars Emilio Estevez, and I've never seen it before. This is not a upgrade. This is an addition to my collection, and it comes in this really cool little case thing here, and you get a big book here full of little drawing things, and you get this cool little holder thing, which is like a cardboard thing. This is a different kind of Criterion there. They gave it a different kind of feel to it, because it comes in this little cardboard case thing there. I thought the cover was cool. I thought the thing was cool, and I mean, and look at all the special features. Ton of special features. Now, I have not seen Repo Man in a long, long time. If I remember correctly, it's about a Repo Man, a guy that repossesses cars, but one of the cars has an alien in the trunk. Okay, I don't think I'm giving anything away, because I think that's the whole thing of the story, is they're trying to get this guy because he repoed a car that has an alien. It's like they open up it's almost remind me of a Pulp Fiction, where they open up the briefcase and you don't ever see what it is.
We happy?
You just see this glowing light or whatever. But the story behind this is so good that like I said, I have not seen this in a long time. I threw it in. I was like roped right in. I was like, and I'm not going to give away too much, because if you haven't seen it before, I want you to see it. So I'm not going to keep going on and on and on. But if you haven't seen Repo Man, starring Emilio Estevez, also stars the other guy from Pretty in Pink. He's like the other main character. I'm probably not going to remember his name. When I played the father. Yeah, they ain't going to say it. No. All right, but if you haven't seen Repo Man, good movie, good pickup, and Criterion. And I'll tell you right now, this one was another one that I waited, and I finally got it for $10. I remember it was one of these sitting in the cars, waiting to pick up somebody, and I was like, it popped up, $10, sold. That's what I say about that. I got no problem dropping $10 on a Criterion Blu-ray. Especially since I don't own it before, and it's an addition. It's not an upgrade. Last one. This one is a Kino release. Yes, Kino Lorber. I never get it right there. And it is the movie Desperately Seeking Susan. Now, if you do not know what Desperately Seeking Susan is, it's one of Madonna's first movies. Okay, she actually did a movie before this movie, which was like a direct video movie, and that was a pile of garbage. But then this was her big breakthrough hit, and has the Madonna songs on it, and it has this is with Rosanna Arquette, which Rosanna Arquette was also big back in the day. This is from 1985. Wow. I was choking on. I'm getting old, man. I remember seeing this when it first came out. 1985. Probably half of the people that are watching this weren't even born when this movie came out. But yeah, this was Madonna in her prime. There is a couple of scenes in this movie with Madonna, and she's just like rolling on the bed. That's worth buying this just for that. I mean, to bring you back to that memory of a young Madonna, and like, I mean, everybody loved Madonna back in the 80s. I mean, she was it. You know, that was it. We had posters on the wall. there was no other female singers besides Madonna back in the day. And when she came out with this movie, we were like, people were rushing to go see this movie. Like, we don't even care that she still sings anymore. We want to see Madonna acting now. We want to see a Madonna movie. And I remember going out to see this movie, and like, I mean, I was like,
Wait a minute! What's happening to my special purpose?
What's your special purpose?
Well, when I was a kid, my mom told me that was my special purpose, and someday I'd find out what that special purpose was.
you know, I was like, you get that, I don't know if you ever had that like little kid crush, you know, your first like ever crush on somebody, and you're like, and they were like a big star, so you can't touch them, they're not untouchable, whatever. But you're a little kid, and you're like,
Hey! A lady, feminine, female, girl, skunk. In the spring, a young man's love lightly turns to thoughts of fancy.
Madonna helped me through my developing process. You know, I was in love with Madonna, and so was my cousin was gonna marry her. My cousin, I used to get mad because he'd be like, and then she ended up marrying Sean Penn. I remember being at the house, and my aunt was like, "Oh, Madonna's marrying Sean Penn," and my cousin was like, "No, she's not. She's gonna marry me." And I'm like, "You know Madonna?" No, I was like really affected by. I'm like, "Wow, you." I didn't even know you guys were dating, and how she ended up with Sean Penn. Literally, that was going on in my mind. I had I guess at my young, I don't want to age myself, so I'm not going to try to bring myself to how old I was back in 1985. And if you know me, please don't comment below how old I was, because that's rude. Okay, I got this Peter Pan syndrome. I don't want to know how old I am. I don't care how old I am. Don't celebrate my birthday. I don't care anymore, because if you tell me how old I am, then I'm just going to grow older. I'd rather stay this age forever and forever be a little boy, like Pee Wee Herman.
I am the luckiest boy in the world.
You know, that's my theory on life. If I don't like face the age, I'll just keep on coasting, probably forever. You know, that's my theory. But anyway, so 85, man, Madonna was it. You know, I mean, I don't think there's ever been a star since. I mean, when I think of stars, I think of you know, the coming of Britney Spears and the coming of Lady Gaga, you know, the female stars, and I don't think there's ever been one besides Madonna that's been like the world just stopped and fell in love. You know what I mean? Am I saying that right? Am I correct about this thing? If you were not a Madonna lover or fan, I mean, I don't understand. You know, maybe not now. I mean, I'm not too big on her music now. But her old music was like, it was played everywhere. I mean, I remember it was her, Samantha Fox, and Debbie Gibson, and Tiffany, like that little group right there. But never ever compared to Madonna. So if you have not seen Desperately Seeking Susan, it's about this girl and this guy, and the girl puts out an ad looking for this guy, and she was desperately seeking Susan, searching for something, whatever, and this other girl, played out Rosanna Arquette, is admiring the Madonna character, and she's like in love with the Madonna character. She wants to be Madonna, so she ends up, the Madonna character is she's like a homeless, running around type person, and she has to sell her coat. So she ends up, the other girl ends up buying her coat from this other person. So that's how they know Madonna is by the coat, because the coat has like the thing on the back of the dollar bill. It's like the pyramid with the eye, and so now these people are on a hunt trying to find this girl, and because the girl bought the coat, now she's becomes the Madonna character, and everybody's after her, but really it's not the girl. It's a little confusing as I'm trying to, even as I'm explaining this to you, I'm getting confused on explaining it to you. But it is definitely worth watching. It was definitely if you remember the Madonna video from this back in the day, I want to say it was Get Into the Groove. I think it was. It was like snippets from this movie, and it was like Madonna in her absolute prime. I mean, if you are a Madonna fan, this is an absolute must-have. If you are a fan of old classic movies, it's funny when I say classic movie. Right away when I'm telling you guys this, when I go old classic movies, I'm thinking like Ben-Hur, Ten Commandments. I'm thinking Cleopatra. I'm thinking Gone with the Wind. But you know what? Nowadays, old classic movies are Desperately Seeking Susan, which is kind of depressing because that must mean I'm getting old. If that's become old classic movies. And half of my viewers weren't even born in 1985. If you were born after 1985, wow, the depression has set in. Anyway, that's the end of my pickups for today. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button because I'm getting older and I want to see my numbers grow. So hit the subscribe button. And I will see you later.